All right. Good afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Liberty Stream, Cooking with Liberty Fires. We're back at it today, and we're going to cook some Kenyan chicken curry. Looking excited for it. Glad everyone could join me today on this Monday of Mondays. Hopefully your Monday was well. Happy Monday for those that are still at it, because I know it's still early for some people. Kind of wrapping up the end of your day. Anyway, what are we doing? Kenyan chicken curry. So first thing, I've moved my camera on my cutting board a little bit. I want to see if I can get a better angle at it. So that's something that if you've seen one of my past streams with cooking, let me know what you guys think of this one. But everything else should remain the same. We're cooking Kenyan chicken curry. This is one of those Green Chef meals that I looked at whenever I was picking out what meals I'm going to cook later in the month. Saw the title. I was like, this looks good. Looked at the ingredients. This looks good. I've been looking forward to cooking this for a while. I'm glad it's here. I can't wait to try it at the end of the day. Prep work is going to be simple. So I've got a small cutting board. I do got a big one for kale later. I don't need a big one, but it's going to be there. It's going to be lots of cooking on the stovetop, so that's going to happen in a little bit. But yeah, so again, like all the other Cooking with Liberty Fire streams, what are we going to do? Prep work here on my table. From here, take a small break. I move the cameras over. Once the cameras are moved over, we go into that. So, yeah. Okay. First thing we do with any Liberty stream with Cooking with Liberty Fires is we make sure we have all our ingredients. Comes a nice label in the bag, so we just open that up. And then we're going to take out all the ingredients. I keep the bag near me. That way it's a nice little convenient trash can whenever I'm kind of cleaning up my cooking area, because I like a organized countertop. So whenever there's something I don't need to use anymore, it goes from the countertop right away into my bag, so I don't have to see it ever again, theoretically. Okay, so first things first, boneless chicken thighs is our protein of the day. We're going to be chopping that up into bite-sized pieces. That's going to be a lot of what we're going to be doing first. The next thing we got to make sure is we have some yellow curry powder. Ta-da! Yellow curry powder. That's what it looks like. What up, Gabby? How you doing? Thank you for the lurk. Much appreciated. Cauliflower rice. Very fan favorite of keto is this cauliflower rice. This cauliflower rice is has the same kind of texture of rice. You can use it in kind of the same way with rice stir fry, rice, vegetables, etc. You can make your own cauliflower rice if you have a good enough food processor. I just go out and buy it because I don't want to mess around with my food processor, but it's kind of on you. Green kale, we got that. Nice little bag here. Will be our lettuce-like ingredient later. Diced tomatoes. These are already tomatoes. These are already tomatoes. These are already diced up, so that's good. Red bell pepper. Bam. We got red pepper. We're going to probably dice that up here in a minute. Organic yellow onions and ginger, so that's already chopped up for us in a nice little convenient single serving pouch. Spiced coconut milk with lime juice. This just sounds tasty. Wouldn't want to drink it because it's probably super concentrated, but it does sound good. And then toasted coconut flakes. They're already toasted for me. That's nice. So, hello! Alright. Real quick, I want to talk about that actually. So, what I found comparing HelloFresh, which was the first meal service that I used, HelloFresh was very much you guys do it yourself. So, I was making my own sauces. I was making my own, they would not give me coconut flakes that were already toasted. I would have to toast them myself. So, that's kind of my example there. Green Chef does it a little bit more for me, which cuts down on the cooking and the prep time, which depends on how you feel. I think it's fine. I don't have a strong preference one way or the other. So first thing we're going to do before we start getting into the vegetables is I'm going to prep my chicken. That way we can get that kind of started and marinated. So using my chef knife, we're going to cut this open. There are people who are already curious about what I'm going to do later when I'm cutting into my veggies. And we'll talk about that. But there will be a small 30-second break to re-sanitize my knife. So we got the chicken thighs out here. Now we're going to slice them up into little pieces. And again, take your time when doing this. This is probably the most dangerous I found. Because people, especially if your knife isn't sharp. When people have to cut into something that's pretty tough to cut that's when I found they force it. And when they start forcing it, that's whenever they forget where their fingers are placed. And that's when they make mistakes. Yeah, so we're just cutting this up into little bite-sized chunks. As soon as it's cut out, putting it into my bowl and off my cutting board. There's a piece of bone there that I want to not use. The term bite size is different for everybody. What's important is however you define bite size, you're consistent with. So like my version of bite size is actually a lot smaller than I think others because of my allergies. But really what you're looking for is when you are putting the chicken in the pan, are they all going to cook evenly? That's what bite size means. Okay. What else I want to talk about? I want to talk about finger placement a little bit, which actually, now that I think about it, the other side of the camera of my blade would really be how to show it. So maybe I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. Yeah. So to show the other side of it, I hold my fingers in kind of like a claw. And it's important because what I'm doing is I'm putting my fingertips back away from the blade. And as long as I do that, I should be okay. Kind of use the fingertips to grip in. As long as the tips are back, I'll be okay. That's a bad cut, but I was showing you guys my claw. Claw. So when I was learning to cook at the restaurant at Virginia Tech, my flaw in my technique was my finger was stretched out a lot. So I had to learn kind of to tuck it back in. And even then, it's still sticking out a little bit, but definitely not as bad as it was when I was first learning. So we're just taking our time here. Cutting up the chicken into bite-sized chunks. And then we're going to put in some curry powder. And maybe some salt, maybe some pepper, and get that kind of marinade going. Then we'll clean up the cook station a little bit. And then we'll go into prepping some veggies. I think that's the plan. Green Chef's menu recipe book. The Green Chef recipe has a really smart where they have you cut the vegetables first and then the chicken, and I agree. That's how I would do it. But then why aren't you doing it, Jeremy? Well, I know this is going to take longer, so I kind of want to get it done. And I have enough cutting boards and stuff that I can sacrifice one for the purpose of this. And that way, after I'm done cutting my veggies, I can just leave them on the cutting board and not have to find a home for them. Little bite-sized chunks. And we're on the last one. Here. Oh. Groovy. That is some chicken bite-sized chunks. Ta-da! There we go. Alright. And sure enough, salt, pepper, chicken powder. So I'm going to wash my hands first before I do that. I'm going to have to re-wash them again here in a minute. While I'm doing that, so what I'm doing now is I'm sanitizing my knife. That way it's going to be good and clean. And my knife sharpener. Yeah, so I think I've shown this before on stream, but my sharpener is from Global, and the only thing it is just 2 ceramic discs. And I just run it through nice and safe. You don't have to sharpen it after every time you cut something, but anything tough, I like to give it a quick little resharpen. That knife's good to go now whenever I get ready for my veggies. We're going to put that over here. Alright, so we got salt and pepper to put in. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper, and then it's going to be half of this curry powder. Just like that. A little bit more. Cool. And I'm going to give that a quick little stir, a little toss. Probably go in there with my fingers here in a minute. Yeah, finger time. Don't have to wash my hands again. And that's good to go and ready to cook in a pan later. In a pan. Where else would you cook it? On the fire. Anyway. Bam. Ready to go. It smells great, by the way. Wash my hands again. Alright, so that's prepping the protein. So now we're going to start prepping some veggies. Should be pretty straightforward. Because I think the only veggies we need to prep today is bell pepper and this kale. We'll do the bell pepper first. And the recipe has us cutting it in 1/2-inch dices. Dices? 1/2-inch die. Dices? 1/2 inch. Anyway. Alright. See how I did? 1/2 inch. It's more like more than 1/4. That's a 1/2 inch on this side here. I just didn't get it on the other side. So let's look at this guy. That's a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. So I got the right idea. I'm just a little off on my cuts. That's good. This one's better. Anyway. Does that really matter? No. It matters as long as you're consistent with your cuts. So like this guy here actually would be a problem just because it's a lot smaller than the others. That means that's going to overcook. Everyone else is about the right size. Let's see if we can't match here. My bell peppers breaking away from me. Nope, there's a problem. All right, so we're gonna leave those over to the side. There we go. And now I have diced bell pepper. And now the kale. Or this is, first we're going to cut off the leaves from the stems. We're saving the stems, however, because we're going to use that later. Run the knife down the spine of the stem. Keeping that and doing it again with this guy. I guess it's a guy. I don't know. I kind of gender identified it on my own. My bad. I guess you can tell me later how it identifies us. Alright. So you see all this is taking up space, so I'm going to go get a pan. Yeah. You know what? I lied. I know what I'm going to do. Am I just roughly chopping this? Yep, roughly chop. sized pieces. And we're going to saute these up later. So if you have a bowl, you can put them in a bowl. All my bowls are in the dishwasher that I didn't run last night. So I need to figure out what to do. What should a Liberty Fires do when he can't find a bowl with his Green Chef meal? Recycle, reduce, reuse. Perfect. So now I have a bag of chopped leaves that I can use in a minute. Now, we're going to chop up these stems to 1/4 inch pieces. Really just, I know it says 1/4 inch. I kind of like cutting my stems a little bit smaller than that. So they're not so obvious whenever I'm eating my stir fry. Over here to the side. A couple different ways you can chop vegetables like this. I'm doing the seesaw kind of rocking motion. Which is fine if you have a European chef knife like I do, or European style. Japanese style is what I also do, but anyway, you have a chef knife, that's what's important. If you have more like a vegetable chopping knife, which has a fatter blade, and it's not rounded here at the end, it's more straight, kind of like a cleaver. I want to call it a cleaver though. Same idea though, instead of that seesaw action, it's more chopping. Both methods work. I don't have one I obviously have one bias toward the seesaw method because I think it's a little bit safer than what I prefer. But both work. So that's how would you use your knives, whichever way you want. There's just something satisfying about this seesaw one for me personally. There's kids playing outside. If you hear them, that's what that is. And yeah, so that's our prep work. So now I'm going to take a quick break and bring you guys back where we're going to be in front of my pots and pans and getting ready to cook some stuff, right? So give me a quick 30 seconds to move cameras around, and then I'll be right back. All right, don't go away, guys. It's interesting because actually I can use this screen. Maybe you guys can see me move things. That seems weird. I don't know. We're going with it though. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. You guys see me doing it live. Oh, move the camera over here. Move it over here. Rotate like this. I don't need this cutting board. What up, Papa Smart? How you doing? And thank you, Papa Smart, for the host. Much appreciated. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing alerts whenever I'm doing these streams. I gotta figure out how I want to do those again. Alright. I'm going to go to my live screen, see how my pans look. Got 2 pans right now. So what I'll probably do is I'll just have one going and then switch it over to the next one. Got a kid laying on you? Well, teach him to cook. Do this guy. Alright. So this bottom pan here is going to be where we start cooking our chicken. Add some vegetable oil to that. And then top pan here, that's going to be where we add some cauliflower rice. We're going to go a little bit of that. Come on. There we go. A little bit too much there. Now we're just going to let the pans heat up there. You made brownies last night for Mama? Aww. Like real brownies or like other kind of brownies? I guess he can make brownies. I think he's old enough for that. Okay. Kale leaves, that's going to be added later. Yeah, so it's going to be chicken, onions, ginger, more curry powder, get that going. And then we're going to add the diced tomatoes and the bell pepper to that. And then some of the coconut lime juice. Real brownies, he's much too young. And then the top one is just going to be cauliflower rice and the stems whenever we get ready to do that. So, yeah. So now it's just kind of watching me dance and waiting for these pots and pans to heat up. This is normally wherever I would start doing some dishes. There's one thing I like to do. I like doing dishes whenever I cook. That way it makes everything else way easier, like cleanup, obviously. Cleanup's not easier, you're just doing it earlier. So, yeah. Move the camera around. There we go. That way you guys can't see my door open. I put my menu in the middle of my door frame. It's kind of convenient. That way I can kind of just look up and read it and I'm not staring down. So eventually maybe I should just put the menu like right here. That way it looks like I'm talking to you guys and I'm looking at the menu. That's a thought. How would I do that? So these are getting warmed up, ready to go. I'm gonna go get my spoons. I'm gonna need those. It's gonna be real quick whenever we get things started going. Better go ahead and get the cauliflower rice. Yeah. So that looks warm. Put some chicken in there. A little bit of a sizzle. Wash my hands. Should count how many times I wash my hands in a stream. I used to wash it a lot when I was first learning to cook because I was worried about cross-contamination. I still do, but and what we want to do here with this chicken is we want to spread it out amongst the bottom of the pan. That way they're all getting a good, even cooking. Again, chicken on top of chicken, chicken doesn't cook. It's the surface area that allows things to cook. Unless you cover it with a lid or something like that, but for the most part, just want to do that. Alright, while that's sitting, on the top one, I'm going to put my stems in first. So here's those kale stems I was talking about. Putting them in the pan. But it gives them a chance to cook and heat up. If you have knowledge about your pans, like you've used them before, they're not brand new, you probably know that there's going to be some bias toward your pans. So keep that in mind as you're cooking chicken or anything like that spread out. Like for me, I know the bottom left side of my pans cook faster than the top right side. So whenever I think my chicken's about halfway done, I want to be stirring it up to get as many things in the bottom left to that top right. So I'm gonna add more hand motions here. Just to make it look like I'm impressive to all those people who have me on mute. Knife hand. That was the expression I worked heard the other day, and I laughed. When the knife hand comes out is the exact phrase. Now we got the cauliflower rice going. Give that a stir. So cauliflower rice is going to be done about the same time the chicken is brown. It's going to be about another 2 minutes, we'll say. Probably could have let that cook a little bit longer on the chicken. Probably add an extra minute to it. Add bell peppers. I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of water. Which means I need my measuring spoon. My measuring spoon, so we go there. Kind of ready to go. I gotta go get some more water. Half and half. Smells good. Definitely smells like curry. Kind of wondering what makes it a Kenyan chicken curry. But it definitely smells good right now. So we got that going. Put that here. Stir this up. So yeah. Another minute, give it another stir. Be good to go, and we'll start adding some things. Yeah, knife over all these bags. This is a fun meal to cook. Like you saw the prep work, and the prep work was really, really simple. Like I diced chicken, I diced some bell pepper, and then I cut some kale. Wasn't all that hard, wasn't all that complicated. This is one of those meals where if I'm like de-stressing from work and I want a lot of prep time, I didn't get that. But on the other hand, I'm doing a lot of action in the kitchen. I'm stirring this, I'm stirring this. I'm about to add a bunch of stuff to both pans. So this is good if you're looking to use up some of your energy from your day. I don't know why you would. Usually when I get off work, I'm just tired and I'm ready to take a nap. But I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of that you guys are that would help out from there. So we're going to add yellow onions and ginger. bottom pan. And the remaining curry. Right. And that needs to cook for about 3 minutes. So 718. Really 718? Wow. Alright, so this is done. How much coconut milk do I need to add here? Alright, so in the top pan, we're adding half of this coconut milk. And then we're also adding 2 tablespoons of water. Probably to cause the milk to be less thick, if I had to take a guess on the science of this dish. 1. 2. And then another stir. And where is my lid? We're going to reduce that. Cover it for 8 minutes. I'm going to use my kitchen use my microwave timer for that, so I can use my stove timer for the chicken. So this guy's good to go. Adding diced tomatoes. Adding the bell peppers. No escape. Some water. And the rest of this lime juice. Coconut milk lime juice. And I'm going to try to grab as much of it as I can. Because I forgot what I used this before in some other meal. But it was really, really tasty. Kind of the highlight of it. So I want to grab that. And we give this a stir. Gave that a stir. Did I need to add salt and pepper to this? Yeah, we're going to add a little bit more salt and pepper. I already added some to the chicken, so this should just be a little quick dash. Give that another stir. And then before my cauliflower rice is out, we'll add some salt and pepper to that too. And we're just going to let that sit. reduce the heat here as well. And once again, this is kind of where I would clean everything up. So, I do have some trash here, so let me get rid of that. Yeah, we're getting near the end now. So basically, it's just letting this simmer, let the sauce reduce. So for people who don't know what I mean by when a sauce is reducing, that means I'm taking the current volume and I'm letting the water evaporate out of the volume and reducing it by a certain amount. Whatever you have in your kitchen or whatever your certain recipe is, that's what it means by reducing. So in this case, we're reducing by half. So what I hopefully will get by the end of it simmering is the same flavor in half the volume. So it's going to be much more concentrated and should be really, really good. The way to do that is by evaporating the water. So you want it to simmer kind of like it is now. That might be more of a boil, but we're going to call it simmering. And we're going to let that simmer until the rice is done. Once the timer goes off, we're going to add some the kale leaves and some of the coconut to that. Salt, pepper as well. And then we should be good to go and get ready to plate. I think I'm going to plate this in a bowl today, slightly different. Because I think there's something about getting the rice at the bottom of a bowl, and then you're putting the veggies on top. I might do a small plate. I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly which one I want to use yet. I think both would be good. I don't think I hate one or the other. Let's see. I'm going to show you guys my dog. I could, but everything's kind of showing that cooking goodness, so I don't want to leave you guys away from that. What are we doing tomorrow? So tomorrow I have on the agenda Southwest beef enchilada casserole, which just looks super tasty. I'm excited about that guy. And then Wednesday I'm seeing the dentist. I probably don't want to cook after seeing the dentist, to be honest. That's usually my nope. I'm going to sit inside and eat some soup. So then Thursday I got pork chops with a lemon herb pesto. And looking forward to the rest of that. Final Fantasy 15 tonight after the cooking stream's done. So we'll play some video games. Try to finish through Chapter 3 and get some of Chapter 4 done. Wednesday, since I'm not doing a cooking stream, I'll probably do a dark practice stream. Because that's something that I said I would do is spend an hour of my streams each day not playing a game, but doing something outside, something more in real life. And I think doing a dark practice stream on Wednesday when I'm not playing darts, when I'm not cooking, kind of fits that alley. So we'll see. I got to figure out where I'm going to put up my cameras, but I got to figure out if my cords actually are long enough for my USB cables. If anybody in chat knows of a wireless USB or a wireless webcam, let me know. I'd be much interested in those. Even though I just have all these Logitech webcams going forward, but yeah, okay. So this is simmering. That's looking good. That's looking tasty. Smells amazing. I'm sorry you guys can't smell it. Twitch, smell vision. Work on it. I don't have it. This is the nerd in me. So you would want to receive the smell in some kind of receiver, turn it into electrons, like some kind of just data, send that for the internet, and then on the other side, you need essentially something that creates matter from energy. And then you can create like what the air particles actually have in them, and that's where you're going to get your smell. Aha, nerd. That's the microwave. means my cauliflower rice should be good to go. Alright, so we're going to add kellies to the pan. I'm going to give that a quick stir. The pan is not fully large enough. We'll make it work. Once it starts wilting, it'll be a little bit easier to stir. And we're adding most of the toasted coconut. Give it another stir. Yep, that rice is looking good. Give that about a minute, that should be good to go. Gives me a chance to go. Get my plate. And where's my phone? Found my phone so I can take a photo of it after we're done. That way we can show people who did not join me today what they missed out on. Alright. So close-up view curry, close-up view of the rice. Here's my pan, so now we're going to start plating. I'm going to do cauliflower rice, my coconut flakes, my kale. It's going to go on bottom. Little bed. Looks good. This a stir. Put that right on top. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Kenyan chicken curry. Cool. All right, let me go take a photo of it, and I'll eat it for you guys, let you know how it tastes. Taking a photo with my cell phone. Bam. So we got the photo taken. Now the only thing left to do, that's what I need to do. I need to make 2 plates. I need to make 1 plate here, zoom it in so you guys can see that. Then I make another plate, and I'm eating the other plate. Bam. That's what the end shot needs to be. Next time. All right. Here we go. It's hot. It's hot. It's really good. It's really tender. That chicken's really, really cooked perfectly. I just realized I didn't add salt and pepper to the cauliflower rice, but that's okay. We can add some later. I would like a stronger curry flavor, I think, out of the chicken. I'm not saying it's not there. It definitely is. Yeah, I wonder if actually the coconut milk kind of kills it a little bit. It's not as curry-y that I was thinking of. Cauliflower rice and kale's good. No complaints there. Besides these little salt, but we can fix that. Yeah, all right. So for you guys at home, let the sauce reduce a little bit longer. So it concentrates more of those flavors into chicken. I think it'll be really good. Make sure you add salt to the cauliflower rice. So yeah, this is a really good meal. I enjoy it. It's really, really tasty. I would gladly eat it again. So, yeah. Good stuff. Good meal. Success. Yeah. Definitely a 4-star. 3.5. 4. But if you're interested in trying these meals like this, you can do !Green Chef, and then my bot is going to give you a code that you can use in order to get 4 meals, 4 Horsemen style, for free. And the only thing you have to do is pay for 2 of those meals and shipping and handling, so it's like 25 bucks. No long-term commitment, so just order it. I wouldn't cancel it right away. I think what I would do is I would order my first box. Then, because I'm not sure, I would hold the second week, so I'm not on the hook for it. Try the first box, see if I like it, and then 2 weeks later, I'll get a new box. I think that would be my plan. Yeah. So yeah, !Green Chef. You can go from there. As always, go up there, hit that follow button if you're new to the stream, and if you have a Twitch Prime sub but you haven't used it yet, go ahead and give it to someone. It doesn't have to be me. The Dart League's playing a little bit later. FO Dart League, you can give it to them. That helps them out. Just finding a person. Use it. It's money. Helps them out. They'll feel a lot of, especially those guys at the bottom of the view list, right? The ones that are affiliate but they don't have a lot of subs, give it to one of those guys. They're going to really, really love and really appreciate it. And it's going to be great for them, right? So I recommend go do that. Besides that, I'll catch you guys in a little bit whenever I get ready to stream some Final Fantasy 15. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow on Cooking with Liberty Fires with another meal. So thank you all once again. Thank you to Papa Smart for joining with me. Thank you for Gabby Limoncello. Much appreciated. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.